champion prevailed, defeated the villain, now pour him some ale. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to a little Wednesday night Witcher Family of Wraiths action here on Tales from the Grim. I am Greg, Grimjack21502. I will be your GM tonight, as well as fellow audience member and storyteller, as it takes you, the Legion watching, my wonderful players that you'll meet in a second, and me sorta to help facilitate certain things that are going to happen. Tonight we have a very special one for you if you are joining us for the first time live on VOD or on YouTube, and you would like to see how combat in The Witcher goes, then get ready. At the end of our last session, one of our Witchers, by the name of Wim of Gesso, played by Billy, was surrounded by two other Witchers. They seemed hell-bent on a hunt and the killing and capturing of a bear. Wim being from the school of the bear. But that's the story that we get to, that we all are going to help tell. How can we all help tell? Well, if you would like to, and thank you for the follow very much, if you would like to help what is going on in the narrative, there's a real easy way to do it. Billy is going to need some help tonight, my friends, and I and you are here to help him. Please retweet our going live tweet. As soon as we get to 20 retweets, whoever is in dire circumstances will get a bit of help, and this help will come in the form of either the influence or the actual appearance of an NPC. And so at 20 retweets, an NPC will show up to aid the party. Now, if you would like to get directly involved, you may look straight down and you can see that there are several ways in which to do so. You can donate to help the party or hinder the party, helping them with, how do you like that silver, which gives them a +2 to every roll for the entire session, or winds howling, which makes this session more difficult. We can have 10 winds howling, we haven't yet, or we can have 3 how do you like that silver, which would give them a total of +6 to any roll that they would make, which for this system from Artausorian Games is huge. Now, that's how we can be here, how we can help the story, what the story is, but the reason why we can be on here on a Wednesday night for Witcher Family of Wraiths, our wonderful sponsors, the aforementioned Artausorian Games. There is currently in chat right now a sweepstakes raffle going on for a PDF copy of the core rulebook for Witcher. It is fantastic. It's a great read, even if you have no intention of playing the system, but are just a fan of Witcher. It's that good. You can read through. It's got a real narrative quality to it. I enjoy it quite a bit. It's one of my favorite ones to come out in a while. That's why we're playing it. Also, our other sponsor is none other than Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice here on Tales from the Grim. If you'd like to type in www.roll20.net/start/Tales from the Grim, you can start your own free account. And because so many of us are being told to shelter in place right now, Matt, thank you very much, my friend. Well, thanks to me. But if you would like to, with Roll20, it doesn't matter how far away you are or how close you are, but have to remain that aforementioned 6 feet away, then you can go to our virtual tabletop of choice, Roll20, create your own virtual tabletop with friends from anywhere around this continent or the world, and you will be able to play Witcher, Cthulhu, Dungeons and Dragons. So many systems are represented by so many fantastic people that work at Roll20. Go over there, experience their dynamic lighting. You'll see some of our maps later that we have a few animated ones. The best thing about it right now is the story doesn't have to end, and it's easy to use. So if you're used to meeting around a table and can't do it anymore, talk to your party, my friends. get them together, keep the story alive. But that's that. This is now. We have our own story to tell with your help. As you just saw, Matt put in a little bit for some winds to be howling. So as the winds begin to howl here on the continent, inside the town of Hangsfor, we're going to cut right to the chase. And we are going to go to our entire party as they are brought in via map. And let me pull this up so we can... Everybody, let's do a quick walk around. Please tell us who you are, who you'll be playing, and let's just give a thumbs up or a thumbs down about what you think's going to happen to the twins that are facing Billy tonight. Let's start with our guest. Hawk, how are you doing, my friend? And who will you be playing?
Oh, I'm doing well, other than being a tired, stressed-out healthcare worker. I am playing Ananias. At least he tries to put himself off as just a humble shopkeeper here in this small, bustling town, and who's just been in the process of recruiting some help for a little situation he finds himself involved with.
Fantastic, Hawk. And as you were introducing your peaceful merchant, Sphinx just donated for a little bit of silver. So how do you like that silver? Everybody, +2 to your rolls for the rest of the session, which is gonna help out very, very much. So as we go from Hawk over to Prax, how are you doing, my friend? And who will you be playing?
Hello all. I'm doing okay. I'm okay. No, I'm not. Tonight, Veron, the sorceress of the party, and she's a mite pissed, but she knows that Wim needs help, so hopefully soon she'll be able to help him. And I have bets on Wim taking those twins and making them less twin-like.
That's the bet right now. Will they look the same when this is all over? And I would just like to say that right now things weren't the same as when we went into your intro, Prax, as Katrina has donated another How Do You Like That silver. So everybody, you have a +4 to your rolls this session. We have never maxed out How Do You Like That silver, and that's not me soliciting anything. I'm just stating a Witcher family of race fact right now. Let's skip over Billy for just a second and go on to our friend Trooper. Trooper, how are you? Who will you be playing? Let's go.
I'm Trooper SJP, and I will be playing Ezrin, Prince Ezrin of Raustillen, who is our noble, but who's incognito as Eric the Bard. And I'm doing fine, and Ezrin is also doing fine. And what do I think's gonna happen to those twins? Here's the question. I don't know what kind of twins they are. I don't know if they get in shenanigans like the Patty Duke show where they mess up their hair, and so then one person thinks that they're the other, and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna go and kill Wim today. But oh no, I switched hair. It's the wrong one. I don't know what they got going on. I hope that there'll be like a peppy sitcom type of theme song while shenanigans happen. That's all. Those are my hopes.
Spoilers. No. Okay, it sounds great. I like your theory. We'll see how that pans out. Let's go over to Josh. Josh, my friend, how are you? Who will you be playing? And are you ready for tonight?
I am good. I am playing tonight Aris of Gesso, recently revealed to be Wim's brother. And I am not there at the moment, but I will be there shortly. And it's going to be an interesting encounter. For some reason, all that springs to mind is if they're twins and they really are identical. This hand is your hand, this hand is my hand. Which point Wim probably rips both their limbs off and beats them to death. It's the remix. It's not as popular, but it's a good one, and it has a soft place in my heart. That's me.
Right. It's got a better beat. Josh, if you will, my friend, as another donation comes in, everybody make sure you give yourself some life. As Jim Otherdog says, life I say, and has thus given you life. If you could, as we go about here, Josh, roll me a D10. This will determine exactly how far away our two brothers are.
7.
A 7. You are 700 feet away from your brother.
Meters or feet?
700 feet. And you can travel 90 feet around.
I thought it was meters, but that's cool. Okay, so I can travel 90...
Yeah, you can travel 30 meters around or 90 feet. So you can...
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah.
right. Good. Okay, we got you.
Awesome. And fun. Well, before we go to Billy, JF, my friend, how are you? Who will you be playing? And are you ready for tonight, my friend? You're muted, bud.
So yes, I'm ready. I'm playing Dusa of Gamera, who's at the doctor's office right now, so I don't know how that's going to work. But he's a retired witcher. He's got a lust for vengeance. He's been known to turn into a mad dog. But he's recently put himself on a leash, which in medieval times translates as, well, in this case translates as knighthood. He's injured, so yeah, like I said, he's at the doctor. Who knows what's going to happen? But I hope Billy's going to make it, and actually, I believe it.
Love it, my friend, love it. And with a segue like that, there can be only one person left. Much like the Highlander, let us go to Billy. Billy, my friend, who will you be playing, and are you ready?
I'm playing Whim of Gehaso, and yes.
A man of few words. I love it. And so as we ended our last session, we had the appearance of these two witchers. And as they stepped up, revealing with dropped hoods their witcher eyes, they simply said, "Another hunt, another bear." Roll some initiative.
Is that everyone rolling initiative?
No.
Because we heard it.
We'll get to that.
Hang on a sec. Oh, this is gear and inventory. It's not on that page.
Tie with initiative always goes to the defender, and that, my friend, is you.
Well, I didn't add the 4 from all rolls either.
Ah, then it definitely goes to you.
You're also whispering your rolls.
Oh, am I
Not-
whispering mine?
No, Bill is.
Oh, okay.
Not intentionally.
I just didn't know if you wanted them that way or not.
I will switch them over, everybody. I got you, Bill.
Oh, thanks, man. I'll figure out one day where that setting is.
It's at the very top, and for whatever reason, it keeps clicking over every time we close out, but we'll get it. And so, my friend, as Whim of Gesso is surrounded by these two identical witchers with dragon medallions around their necks and swords in their hands, describe to us exactly how armored or lack thereof your character is, and then, of course, do whatever it is you would like to do.
So at the moment he realizes he's flanked, he's going to put his helmet on, and then he's going to address. He's looking at Porthos right now, and another Witcher medallion, eh? Now you won't mind then if I make you earn it. But first, I just bought this cloak, and I'd rather not get it dirty. And as he's taking it off, he's going to whisper, "Quinn." And then in kind of a debonair maneuver, as he unties this cloak, he's going to wrap it around his arm and throw it up into the air in an attempt to block Starzen's view. And then like a bull in a cape, he's going to charge Starzen.
Okay, that's a lot. What I'll have you do is the Quen is going to be your action to cast. You can do so. I think your maximum is 2 stamina that you can put into it with your vigor threshold.
Then I'll forego the Quen if I can charge.
Okay. So if you're going to throw that with the intention to just distract or to blind, roll me a deception check, please, or deceit. Alrighty.
That's with bonus.
And so Starzan does not look away as it kind of blocks him for a second, but instead he almost drops into a catcher's stance as he lowers himself for your charge, his sword being drawn up as he, almost like a matador, lowered to take on a bull. But you may, of course, roll your attack if you are looking to charge here. Are you charging to attack or charging to bum rush?
I'm charging to attack. There's like a keyword there too. So if I fail the attack, there's a combative physique roll to see if he goes prone.
Right, physique versus physique to see if you can knock him prone.
All right, but it is just a strong strike. All right.
That is pretty good. Is that with your add-ons on there?
With the 4, yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you are in fact able to hit into him. Roll your target that you were going for and your weapon of choice as you run into him. I think it's a brawling attack, so it's a punch or a kick.
Yeah, I just put those knuckles
You have your
on.
knuckles on, so this is not non-lethal damage. This will be lethal damage if you punch.
All right.
Okay, and with your knuckles, I think I added in the damage for them. As
I put that in last week on my own. I don't know unless you changed it.
yeah, it should be 2d6. 2d6 plus 2.
And then there's 4 to that as well. I didn't add the 4 into that.
4 is just for rolls, not for damage. So the
Okay.
the 4s will go in.
And then if it's a strong attack, is it doubled?
Yeah, if that's a strong attack that's going in at his torso, you hit then with a 24. Explain to me how you smash into Starzan's chest as you throw a thunderous punch.
So through the cape, if he was guarding, expecting to get a lower center of gravity from me, but as the cape clears, he sees Wim literally on all fours, charging in with a bear crawl, and then taking one left hand to brace himself, and with all of his weight going into his torso with his right fist.
Yep, sorry about the map, everybody. You should be able to see it. Yeah, and technically that would have been a crit, but wind's howling, my friends.
Yep.
And so as the punch thunders into his chest, the air, as it comes out, he's able to hold on to his weapon, maintain his footing. And as you get close to him and walk up, let me bring you a bit closer here. As you walk up and are face to face with him, something goes off at the edge of the alley. And as this wall of force erupts through Starzan, I need you to make a dodge roll, please, as it lashes out at you. He falls through it, and it punches forward.
Okay.
Okie dokie. So you see this lance of energy shoot above your head. It is solid, it's tangible, it has weight to it. but the weight does not connect. But it does, however, drive you back into the alleyway as it seems to roil, almost like a standing on its end green ocean. Roll me Witcher training.
Got it. Memento por favor. That's a crit.
You would recognize this as a variation of a magic trap.
All right.
Anything else you would like to do? You do have stamina to spend. I know you did a charge attack, but that doesn't negate the fact that you have another... You'd like to spend 3 stamina, you can do another attack.
I won't be able to charge again, would I?
No.
Yeah.
It takes your movement.
So then what I would do is kind of keep my eye yeah, they're both pretty far away, so I don't think I'd be able to get close enough without moving. So I'm going to put my back against the wall with both my fists out, preparing.
And as you prepare, Porthos comes in and launches attacks that seem to be aimed at your chest. Ah, 23 and a fumble.
Okay.
So it's 23 and 13.
So I know with weapons, parry is an option, but would you let me parry with knuckles?
Sure. You're allowed to actually parry with your bare hand if you'd want to. Just take the damage for it.
Okay. Sorry, what roll is parry at? Is that dexterity or is that reflex?
For you, using the knuckles, it would be melee.
Okay.
This will do
brawl.
damage to the knuckles, though.
Okay. Yeah, let me dodge. Let me dodge. Yeah.
And this is not a joint attack, so you can dodge both of them. It's only with a joint attack that you have to have alternate forms of defense. So you can dodge them both if you'd like.
I'll dodge the first one.
You dodge it, you do.
And then I'll try to reposition on the set for the second roll, which would just be a dodge and a move.
Oh! Yep. And, let me get out my handy-dandy table here, my friend. Roll me... Actually, I don't think you have to roll anything because this is a...
Defense.
Let me see. This is defense for them, and it's attack for them, actually. Roll me a target, please. Target location, as if you had made an attack. Okay, so with a 7, with the right leg, as he comes in with the thrusts, 2 quick thrusts to the chest, you're able to dodge both of them. And with the second one, you're able to deflect his sword enough that it takes a huge chunk out of a windowsill, creating this almost this shard, this splinter, this dagger of wood. And as it slasers off with his sword, it goes flying. It goes through the magic barrier as it's inanimate and strikes his brother. As it strikes his brother in the right leg, you see Starzan look down and then look back up. Come now, brother. And he's going to attack twice again and burn a little stamina. He's upset now.
I mean, I would be too after a showing like that.
Right. Wow, that second attack is just no bueno. Okay, so that would be a 25 and a 12, and you're gonna have to burn stamina to block these two as well.
You got it. So
Actually, no, you only have to burn one. He can only do one extra fast attack. I'm sorry.
okay. I'm gonna block with my left arm. Just as he comes in with the strike.
Alrighty.
So I mean that automatically hits that location, correct?
You can attempt to block with it. He's going for your chest.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, you're able to throw up your arm as a means to deflect it, much like a shield. And do so you do, as you literally punch the blade away with your knuckles as it comes in. You don't flat palm it, it's just a raw, brutal punch against the flat of the blade as he, again with this third strike, is knocked aside, looking strangely as his brother runs through the wall of force. No, not you.
Oh, sorry. I neglected to reposition myself after the reposition defense.
Sure, go right ahead.
Yeah. So right back here.
All right, somehow you've gotten onto a different layer. No,
These
you're
maps
not.
look awesome, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Let me move this out of the way. It's confusing. There we go. So he's going to run in. And he's going to take attacks as well. Let me go over to him. Believe it or not, they are slightly different.
So just to refresh, I didn't lose the stamina.
You had to burn one stamina for that third block.
Gotcha.
And you're going to have to burn them each time you block with these. Two 19s.
All right. Homeboy's gonna try to dodge him.
Go for it. Yeah, that one's dodged. Yep, these are both dodged. Something tells me there's going to have to be crits involved for this to hit the way God intended. We'll see. I love it. This is exactly what it should do. He attacks again with a third strike. Ignore the second strike here. 20.
All right. Dodging again.
Alrighty, so as you hit, or as he tries to hit you again, they're just stabbing forward, going straight for your exposed, what they believe, chest. You are able to knock and move and spin. They are angling you towards the back of the alleyway, and you hear something. It sounds, well, roll me an awareness.
These could be higher, but I'm all out of luck. I'm so lost without you.
And so, as you are in the back of this alley, just as you pass by a specific point, if you had engaged Porthos first, perhaps, you hear a tss, and you smell for a moment a sulfuric, a brimstone type of smell just before the explosion. But let's cut to a brother. Eris, you have just heard a whistle that you know all too well. A whistle of warning, a whistle of trouble.
Greg, what's the What is the biggest, nastiest, sharpest looking surgical tool in this surgeon's office?
Be a bone saw.
Fantastic. I take the bone saw and without saying anything other than looking to do so and saying trouble, I take off, flat out running in a direction, and I hear the whistle.
So I'm going to have you describe this to me, Josh. You're right there by the back door, so you're out into that alleyway that is almost a tidy alleyway, not a lot of junk. The alleyway where you saw Susie Midnight in our session last week. And as you burst free and begin to move, unerringly knowing the direction of your brother's plight as the weaving of these alleys kind of web works its way through your mind, you would hear tears. I can get there faster.
He's family. We look after family.
Do you want me to go?
I'll catch up.
You would see her pull from your body that ethereal blue light of the wraith as it leaves your flesh and becomes the intangibility that you're used to, her hair drifting as if it's underwater. And as you round a 90-degree turn to go into another alley, she shoots directly into the wall in front of you. And as she blisters into this wall, moving as the crow flies, or as the wraith runs, I'm not sure how you would take this, but as soon as she enters into this abode, you hear screams coming from inside.
Seems like a rational response, Greg. Can I see if I can cut some corners here? Maybe get there a little quicker. I'm looking for shortcuts. I'm looking for things I can jump. I'm looking for rooftops that I can cut across.
All right. I'm gonna let's have a conversation then, because this is one of my favorite times of the session. I'm going to allow you to roll any type of physical roll you would like here. If it's something like athletics or stamina, something that you just want to just kind of, work your magic and acrobatics to get through there. Or if you would like to roll persuasion with a lower DC, something else might happen.
No, I'm going to most definitely try and jump corners and stuff like that. But I will keep in mind weird persuasion rolls. Unfortunately, empathy is not my thing.
You do have a +4.
I do. You know what else I have? A much better score in athletics. And you put my brother's life on the line, so
very fair.
Yeah, I'm gonna say athletics to try and cut some corners here and see if I can get there quicker. And I will spend a single point of luck on this.
Sounds good.
21.
Okay, with a 21, this is the moment where you described to me how there is normally kind of one of those mid-floor cisterns that kind of runs through and sluices through water, gray water that's being kind of spilled out and into the sewer system. But there's just enough room where somebody Eris's size could get through, and get through it you do. But my friend, this is your story to tell as we are sharing it. How do you do it?
You said like a cistern, like sewage is potentially coming out of it?
Right. Like this is one of those kind of collective gutters that several buildings have, where they throw out all of their gray water, and as it's rushing down into the sewer, it kind of takes the space of the alley. It was probably added later when a building became more modern, but as it was going down and kind of sluicing into the sewer, it still exposes a bit, almost like a triangle at the top corner, just big enough for you to get through. How do you do it?
It is the most foul power slide you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, not a single shit is given, pun intended. As I like both feet drop down and just like I'm trying to like make my body as narrow as possible, like I'm in the Olympics and I'm in a bobsled, just shoot through it and like get back up, and I am covered in like filth and human excrement and everything else like that. But as I come up, like in the process of getting up, blade in each hand, just full on sprinting. And yeah, Greg, if you think you just put me in the shit, wait till you see what happens when I get there.
I can't wait, my friend. And so this is how close it was. As you are sliding luge-like on your back, you move your chin out of the way as maybe half an inch between your body and this stone that would have torn your flesh to pieces. You use that excrement to slide through and are back up and running. My friend, you have cut 100 feet off of your run with this little maneuver. So you are that much closer to your brother. As you emerge from your Andy Dufresne mile of shit run, you pop up and you still hear screaming from nearby buildings as Tears is cutting through the residential sector.
I mean, Greg, I don't know about you, but like my neighbors, when ghosts go through their walls, they wake me up any hour. It doesn't matter. It's
I mean, just be quiet. It's just a ghost.
yeah, HMO, right?
Right. All right, my friend. And as you're running, we're going to go over to Royal and see how our Lord is doing.
Varon and I are out in the alley together. So in front of the shop together.
Correct.
We're waiting on Wim to finish buying condoms or whatever embarrassing thing he was buying inside the shop that he didn't want us to be there for. And I have not heard anything. So I'm just standing in front of the shop, taking in the sights and waiting for Wim to come out of the shop.
Roll me an awareness check.
And I'm probably just saying like, so Mistress Varon, like some sort of small talk, as it were. Although I imagine she's distracted because she did hear something. $22.
Your small talk, you would notice that Mistress Varon is not moving. That the world around you hangs for is not moving. In the air, several birds had just taken to wing, some screams in the distance disturbing them. They too are frozen in the air. And you hear this ting of fingernail on metal. Ting. Ting.
Where? What direction?
The alley right beside the shop you just exited.
I'm going to consent. I'm going to tap Mistress Varon on the shoulder, purposefully tapping the shoulder on her poor side, the side where she got injured, hoping that might spur her, not roughly, right, but hopefully that would awaken her. But clearly something not good, something bad is happening. So I'm going to tap you, Mistress Varon. Mistress Varon.
It's like tapping a statue. The clothing feels hard.
I am not a magician of any sort. Those are not the things I'm skilled in. But might I have any way of thinking what this might be? Education, perhaps? Some sort of sense of stories of what kind of hex or magical effect this might be? Even if it's just stories rather than knowledge.
Then let's roll some education.
I imagine I'd have this is not what a practitioner would know, but what a person who's been educated at Oxford might know. Where's my fumble? 12.
You can suss out that magic is afoot.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to draw my sword, and I do not want Mistress Varan to be left vulnerable, so I would not leave her. But what I want to do is prepare for an assault. I'm going to assume that something, and also that ting, is it getting closer? I want to see if I can, since that is the only thing that is currently moving, I want to see if it is coming closer, if it's not coming closer, and try to position myself between Mistress Varan and that sound.
Because of your earlier awareness roll, I'll let you know that the ting is not getting closer, but when you look at the alleyway, you can make out the silhouette of a figure and a hand that kind of comes out of the gloom, the urban gloom of the alleyway into the light of the thoroughfare. Seems to be flipping a coin or something into the air and catching it.
Mm-hmm. I will say, making sure I'm going to position myself in between Mistress Varan and that figure in the gloom. And I will say, "Ho there, Sirrah, make thyself known."
The ting is caught and in an open palm that is not closed. A man walks out wearing a regular traveler's tunic, leather with just a bit of studding across the breast, a hood pulled down, a closely shorn head as he walks out. "Oh, my lord, how can I help you? Gaunter O'Dim is the name."
Do I know of Gaunter O'Dim?
Roll me an education.
That I shall. 28.
The name, the only thing that you can put to it is that there's some type of title given to this person. You believe it's the Master of Mirrors or the Mirror Master?
Are there stories of this figure being malevolent? Are you not supposed to eat food from this figure? Does it, in what sort of myths, as it were, right? Fairy tales or...
Right. As you're trying to think back, and this is more a childhood flashback, a reference to tales told before bed or around a campfire or something of that nature. You don't remember them necessarily being scary stories, but you can't put it's like there was a moral to them. Like there was a lesson to be learned, and you're not sure if he was the teacher or the one that provided the lesson. There's a difference.
Mm-hmm. Well met, Master O'Dim. To what do I owe the honor of your presence?
He holds up your ring and looks through it at you.
I put away my sword.
Strange things are happening, my lord. Odd.
Have you come to return that?
He flips it. In a manner of speaking, I am here to solicit a favor.
You may but ask.
That's the trick. I'm not sure what it needs to be yet. But if you agree, I might be able to help you. Your bearded friend, he's in trouble.
Oh,
Oh, you're
Master-
short. I'm sorry. The recently bearded friend. I forgot you've shaved.
He did. He shaved. But if you say my bearded friend, I know who you mean. Master Wim, what sort of trouble? And I look back at the door of the shop where the slightly suspicious shopkeeper was.
Everything's frozen. You're living in a painting.
What trouble? Is it something? Is it Sidaris? Is it?
I can't tell you. There's so many things going on these days. Everybody has plans, delusions of grandeur. They wish to be betters. Strange. It's hard to teach someone their place, but I guess that's why I'm here. My work is never done.
Good Master Odim, or perchance, should I say Lord Odim? Forgive if I offend.
He smiles.
Would give anything for my companions and their well-being. I would, with no thought, offer a favor to aid Master Wim.
I love that. Loyalty without question. The mark of a good leader is what it is. This world could use more. He flips the ring again. But what of this? And again he looks through it at you. This was discarded. Such a symbol of love.
I would be grateful to have it returned to me.
What is it worth to you, my lord?
What would you have?
What does a ring represent? Or what should it represent, one like this? A promise.
Aye. And the honor that comes with it.
This was meant to signify your betrothal, was it not?
It was.
Then that is what it will signify now. Between us.
My lord, what mean you by that?
Turn around.
I look, immediately my eyes going towards where Mrs. Veron would be.
She's there. But so is a large, silver-trimmed mirror. What do you see when you look at yourself? Roll me an awareness check.
I will take a step towards the mirror so that I am... it's one of those things where when forces of nature that are probably, that are clearly no longer mythological come to say hello to you, you do not offend them. An 18, but that is a fumble. A 17.
Roll me a courage, please.
Yes. I have a skill that adds to that. So, as a noble, I'm resolute, and so I get to add quite a bit. And as a human, I get to add another. Is that right? Let me think. No, I'm missing something. I'm missing... Oh. I am missing...
The stat. The stat's
I'm
not in
missing
there.
my stat. Yeah. Let me come over here.
Is that with What is that with will?
Yeah. All right. Here, let me roll it, and then I'll just add.
Yeah,
10.
what's your will score, and just add it to it.
Here, I have to re-roll. 28 crit.
Okay.
And another 8, 36.
So I will let you say what you do when you see this, but when you look into the mirror, and a reflection of your own movements, right, left in the mirror, left, right in the mirror, you see you as a catachan looking back. Is that you? Is that the real you?
"'Twas a me that I have been, but not who I was born as or to be."
Are you sure?
But methinks my sojourn as a fiend was punishment for misdeeds, to teach me the error of my ways, of the sins of dishonor.
As you're talking, he is moving to your right and passes behind the mirror, but instead of disappearing, he arrives inside the image and stands beside you as the catachan, reaching up and stroking the flay of flesh that comes off the side. A punishment or a gift? And in the mirror, he flips the ring.
"'Twas a curse for my cowardice."
He slips around your body and comes up and sets his head on the shoulder of the catachan. Excuse me, on your shoulder. Yet, when faced with a situation that you deemed desperate, you embraced the beast again.
"But I have sworn not to do so a second time."
Did you? Do not lie to me, Lord. If your friends were being dismembered in front of you, would you honor your pledge?
Until I'm released of that vow, I must uphold it.
He stares at you.
Breaking one's vow, betraying one's honor is what brought me to this moment. And all of the suffering that has befallen those that I care of stems from this.
Then I will ask you, Lord, still in the mirror, but he reaches around the catachan, around you, flips the ring, catches it. What if, to save your friends, to save your honor, you must agree to break your promise at some point?
Then I am no one worthy to follow. Better I give my life so that those who follow me might live, than I break my honor and they... What may come from a second broken vow? Earthquakes, fire? What manner of cataclysm may fall upon everyone for what? For pride? For
Victory?
at what cost? And is it a desire for victory, or is it only some sort of, is it pride?
My friend, you are the Lord. All rulers have this decision. At some point, there is always a fire sale for one's honor, always a fire sale for one's presence of self. Yet, that sell and that sale can be one that rewards with victory, and no one is the wiser. Heavy is the head, they say, that wears the crown, but that's not really the case. The head of a ruler forgets.
My Lord Odim, methinks many have forgotten their honor in this time. If I break my troth, then I step 1 foot closer to this darkness that has consumed the land that I love and the people. And then there is no true victory. There, as they say, one might win the battle, but one has lost the war. One might have... I would not lose my soul again.
But you did say sacrifice. That is noble. Would you be willing to sacrifice yourself, regardless of the cost, for your friends?
I would. Methinks there's multiple ways to sacrifice.
So do I. Then that is a bargain. If times grow desperate, I promise you that with sacrifice on your end, your friends will live. Is this enough? And he lifts up the ring over the catachan, over your shoulder, and looks through it at you. Is this enough to wed ourselves together?
My Lord Odim, the terms of our agreement are obscure to me, unknown, but I can say that I am a man of my word, and I have learned from my errors of the past, and I shall not flinch, even if it means that I would be sacrificed for the best of all.
For the best of all. Excellent.
But holding on to my honor, methinks is... My Lord Ardim, you may not understand, but at this moment I feel as if my honor is a torch in the darkness, newly reawoke, and if it were to be quenched, then I think the world may not survive. I think of Erilyn and her sacrifice that she made 200 years ago. Many thought it folly, but she is a white rose whose memory, she passed, but her memory has not. And it is yet a light in the hearts of many an elf. And I would be a light. Hopefully not dead, but if I lose my honor, then I fear the world is lost.
I find it ironic that you bring up Erilyn. She and I had an agreement as well.
Well, I would hope that I might would hope that I might be worthy of her memory, that I might make amends for that massacre and do that from the past that has wrought this moment.
She never held you responsible. In fact, quite the opposite. Did you know of the book?
No. Which book, my lord?
Oh, that's right. That hasn't happened yet. Regardless, the book was commissioned by her, written by an elf and a human. The Book of the North. Your book. You should read it.
Perchance there needs be a bard to write it.
It's already written.
Might I find this book? These words. You said there was danger for Master Wim.
Yes, he will likely die. But that is not our concern right now. You and I came here with one purpose, but I think perhaps now there is one that's greater still. I like your words. I haven't heard them in a long time. Your knight. We have an agreement as well. But with you, I make one beneath the sun, clear and without small print. If your friends are in danger, or any you feel worthy of your life, you just speak of sacrifice. And that is our pledge. I will be there to help in any way that I can, as any good spouse would.
And what do you ask of me?
He, inside the mirror, lifts up the ring. With our words, we do wed.
If Erilyn made words with you, then shall I. And so it is done, on my troth.
And so you both pledged your life for your people. And Gunter reaches down onto the left hand of the Katakan, and the ring grows as he slips it onto the ring finger, and you feel the band of metal on your hand. What a beautiful day for a wedding.
Alas, it is not a white wedding.
Speak for yourself.
I pledge to be a bridegroom worthy of thee.
Oh, you are. We have a story, which is strange because you already have a book.
It is to be found, this book.
All books are to be found. Understood? Well, that's a different matter.
My lord, will it be all right in the end? Perchance in 100, 200 years, but in the end, will it be all right?
Roll me a persuasion or anything similar. I know you have some talents in your arsenal.
I do have some persuasion. think that I do not get that bonus for being a human because I do not think that Gontro Dim is human at all. 29. And may I spend 1 luck point to make it a 30?
Certainly may.
Just, it's a nice round number.
Will it be okay? That's the same thing she asked me. I will tell you now what I told Erilyn then. It is all up to Ezrin.
I have a second chance, and I shall not waste it. That you aid me, I give you my thanks. And I kneel on a knee. Stand.
When you look back up, he's gone.
I check my hand.
The ring is on it.
I go to Mistress Veron and touch her gently on the shoulder.
Like a statue.
And so I listen.
Roll me an awareness.
And I close my eyes to do so. 20.
For a moment, you don't hear anything. But then the wind begins to pass over your ears. And the first thing, as the world reawakens, sound of church bells. Sounds like someone just got married.
Mistress Veron?
And with that, we are going to take our break before we get into the next part. So everybody, we're going to take 5. Please go get something, hydrate, grab some snacks. I see somebody in chat. Who was that? Crit says I need adult beverage. Me too. Let's go grab them, retank up, come back here and finish this fantastic tale with these great folks. We'll be right back, everybody. See you very soon. Well, hello everybody, and we are back here with the Witcher family of Wraiths. Lots going on. We just had a wedding. But besides that, we have a Witcher who is being tended to for a wound in the doctor's office. Dr. Simon of Hangsfor. Dusa, you just saw Eris run out, telling you of trouble. What do you do, my friend?
Well, Dusa's gonna try to get up with this brace, this new brace. I'm not sure he's even had the chance to try it out, but he'll not take the time for that as he rushes to the corner, grabs that 6-foot bundle wrapped in furs, his new sword, and he'll yelling thanks, he'll run out without even looking at the guy.
Right, as Simon is... But my payment, as you all head out the back, roll me an awareness check as Eris was hauling ass.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. So I'm not sure he's at the same speed as Eris with the brace and everything.
You get out there, and it's as if your fellow Witcher was never here. You don't see anything disturbed. You don't see anything. You don't hear anything. You listen. You don't hear the tumbling or the running or the patting of feet or the knocking over of bins or anything like that. But after about 3 or 4 seconds, you hear people screaming off to your left.
All right. Well, I'll hobble in that direction.
Okay. And you're not too terribly... I think you have a -1 to body right now. So your speed is still pretty decent. You still have your full movement speed or whatever. I think it's reduced a bit because of your body's reduced. But it's still fairly decent. But I will give you the same pseudo-devil's bargain. I'll give you the same Odim bargain that I gave to Eris. You can roll me in athletics if you'd like to try to force your way there with just the sheer willpower of your body. Or, if you roll me a persuasion, the DC is lower, something else might happen.
Okay. I think athletics is more up Deuce's alley, particularly because I think he's just not taking this wound that seriously yet. And so he's just gonna, kind of force it, you know? So let's go for the athletics. Where the hell is that again?
Athletics should be under dexterity, I believe.
Yes, okay. Well, yes. Basic roll. Yeah, it's a 14.
Okay, so you're moving, and however you want to play this off, JF, you can feel the tightness in your left leg. You can feel the joint stiffen and not have the same type of spring and explosion as you're running. You're not reaching the same length in your strides. It's unsure when the foot hits the ground. You can feel it. It almost feels like it wants to give or bend inward. It's causing you to kind of, put more weight on your right to slow your stride. It's frustrating as you're running through there.
So he's going to try to use that 6-foot bundle. It looks like a spear almost, but wrapped in furs. He'll try to use that as a walking stick as he rushes towards these screams. Okay. Without trying to attract too much attention.
You're going through the alleyways. You're using this bundle to kind of almost peg out and stop you if you begin to slip, almost as like a grip or as just a punch up to get you back straight up. And as you are moving through there, roll me another awareness check.
It's 18.
As you roll around a corner, you see in front of you this brand new sluice, this for gray water to take it into the sewer. It's this just a sewage septic type of system that's been set up here. But that in and of itself isn't what causes you to notice something, because normally, especially with witchers, the smell of something like that would dominate the space. But for you, it doesn't, because all you smell is beggar tick.
Hmm. Okay, well, I'm going to try to follow that scent. He'll try to follow that scent to the best of his ability.
Okay. And the scent leads you away from the direction you believe Eris is in. Do you still follow it?
It's taking me away from the screams?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to follow it.
Okay, so as you kind of slide to a stop and you see the way in front, the direct direction you believe Eris went, you look down another alley, this one decidedly darker. You turn and begin to peg as you rush off in that direction. Again, if this were the video game, there'd be a trail of red floating through the air that you are following. And
yeah, it's a tough one for Dusa, because I mean, honestly, he's torn between going to help, he's not sure, his companions, and this infuriating scent that's been on about every single clue he's had to avenge his friend. So it's a toss-up, and I think he went for the beggar tick.
okay, so as you move deeper into this new alley, as you move in, it cuts a dog leg right off to the right, and as soon as you enter into this gloom, a low-hanging walkway between a half floor of the building to the right and a second floor of the building to the left, as you kind of move beneath it, still running, you see it opens into almost an inner courtyard of several backs of buildings, and a young girl stands there. Half of her face is painted in black, just pitch and jet on the left side. On the other side, paint free, her hair is shaved up into the point where the paint forms the perfect line from forehead to nose to chin. She has a bundle in her hand.
If that's the smell, that's where it's leading.
Smells a lot like beggar tick.
So Dusa will look at her, then look around, see if there's anything else, if there's anybody else watching. Check the windows, check the roof.
That's the funny thing. When you came into this area, much like a bazaar that would have shaded cloth kind of strung up at high angles to keep the sun out at different times of the day, as you look up to try to get a vantage of a second floor balcony or a roof, or you realize that this particular part of this particular city seems to be nothing but a blind spot. Everywhere you look, there's no way to look down on it. There's no way to peer in or observe or gander. And Susie Midnight looks at you. Someone else is following your friends.
All right.
He smells like this. She shakes the bag.
Mm-hmm. Where is he?
She puts her her finger up to her lips and beckons you back the way you came.
I follow her, keeping an eye out.
Roll me an awareness, because as soon as you go around the corner, you realize that there is a much like this blind spot of the city, this darkness and gloom that takes this area provides you with a particular amount of cover as the alley stretches into the thoroughfare.
That's a 15.
Is that with your +4?
Oh, no. No, I haven't been counting that. That's 19.
So with a 19, as you look not into the alleyway where you were, but beyond it into the thoroughfare where a lot of the populace of Hangsforth is moving back and forth, for a moment, almost as if cued by a director, you see a figure walk, silhouetted with the light coming down. But here you are in the darkness. Figure stops, looks down the alleyway at you, seemingly not recognizing your position. You see the head jerk as if inhaling, and then the hands reach up and pull back a hood, revealing Ezekon of Kreve.
He has not seen me.
Doesn't seem to have.
He's unaware. He doesn't seem to. And what's up with Susie? What's she doing?
She is at your, right. She's only comes up to about your, a little bit higher than your hip, and she's just kind of almost on all fours, peering around low. Her hair is braided to stay out of her face, but the back of it is kind of the side that has hair. It's kind of resting on the top of her shoulders as she looks over.
All right. He will definitely hug the shadows as he looks at this guy. He doesn't want him to see him. He's trying to decide whether he should follow him, go see his friends. He's kind of torn. But he draws his sword. Yeah.
As soon as you draw your sword, Jeffers pulls the hood back up and moves into the thoroughfare. Still, body language doesn't say or speak of him having seen you, but he moves back out and leaves your sight as he removes himself from the entrance of the alleyway.
So he just seems to be wandering around. He's not on some kind of, he doesn't seem to be in a hurry or anything like that.
You're not sure. I mean, you saw just at the edge of this alley, you saw him walk up, kind of check the air, and then walk past. Susie's the one that said there was somebody else looking for you.
Right. So I'm gonna creep up. I'm gonna try to hide. I want to see what he's doing. I want to get more information before making a final decision on my course of action.
Sure. Roll me a stealth.
Right, stealth. There we go. That's an 18. Plus 4. 22.
Okay, so you're able to make your way up to the edge, right where the position, you can smell the beggar tick as Susie has left her bundle back in the blind spot. And when you get there and look down, you can see him moving in the same direction as you heard the screams before. You know that you're kind of reoriented back. You can look up and you can see the doctor's office up at the corner, up at the intersection where you were. And you know that this is the direction that your friends went. And Jeffers seems to be moving with purpose through the crowd as he's not striking anybody's shoulders or creating a swath as he walks. He's moving much like a cat would as he just kind of dips and bleeds in and out of the crowd.
All right. Dusa is going to follow him. He's going to try to keep a low profile. He's going to stay maybe 2-3 people behind him. He's going to look at Susie if she's still with him.
She's back in the alley. As soon as
she's back.
Yeah, as soon as you would go out, she would stay in the alley.
So he'll look at her and nod in thanks and begin to follow this man.
And so you begin a hunt.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
Roll me an awareness.
Okay. Whoa, that's a 26.
You're able to follow in the path using both the beggar tick and the larger man's silhouette with the cloak. You can stay behind him. He's moving with purpose, but then again, so are you.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, let us go over. I'll bring everybody in here so we can all hang out for a bit. Prax. You come to, even though you don't realize you ever went anywhere, but you come to as far as Ezrin is concerned. Ezrin, you would feel statue and stone become cloth, and Ezrin's hand would be on your shoulder, arm, wherever you had it placed, Trooper.
Shoulder. Somewhere, somewhere respectful. Mistress Veron. And maybe even, I don't know, but I can imagine perhaps there might have been a glitch, right? That he was not that close to her, I suppose a split second before within her time frame, right? Because he was not standing that close to her.
No time. He needs help, and you can't get there as fast as I can. So run that way. And she pivots on heel and teleports to Wim.
What a long day this has been.
Roll me a spellcasting.
Cool. And I have a lock of his hair.
Mm-hmm.
Which lowers my DC, because it's technically I'm not blind anymore. Wait. Yes. 32.
You would have to.
She would be like 10 feet from him if she could put herself that close.
I need you to roll me, because this is only fair that I do this since this is a tie. I need you to roll me a resist magic, please.
A resist magic?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I can do that. I can do... Crit.
Roll it out. Motherfucker.
35?
So, the 33 that you had to beat, for a moment, as you are traveling through your tunnel, that momentary tear between here and there, as you are going through just the step, just the movement, just that passage where you guillotined off a face of somebody, taking chin and nose and one eye, you hear a voice. What are you doing in my town, Ainfra?
We'll talk later, darling. I'm fixing your problems.
That's it. As you step through, you would see with the which you have already rolled. I guess it's only appropriate that I do that. Let's pull you.
Greg?
Yep.
Can I burn 3 stamina and take another action?
You sure can. Hold on one second though. I want to put you on here. You will be on this side of the wall, which isn't a bad thing. It's just you couldn't make it all the way in.
Doesn't matter.
And so Yes, I'm sorry. Now, what did you want to do? You wanted to spend 3 and do another action? You may absolutely do so. Yep.
As she reappears, she's lost the cloak she's been wearing, and her hand has Frostfang in her right hand, and she slams it to the ground, and she reaches out with her left, and the person that's closest to her, that's whichever one of the twins that she doesn't see, that's a threat to Wim, she reaches out and pulls, and I need him, sorry, to make a resist magic roll against her spellcasting.
That would be, then would Starzan be the one that you'd be after there?
Whichever one is closer.
Okay, I would say
Whichever
Starzan.
one is closer to Wim.
Oh, Porthos then. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, closer to Wim. All right, gotcha. Also, just so everybody knows, and the Ancients just donated $20. You are maxed out for the first time ever on How Do You Like That Silver. So it's a +6 to everybody's rolls going forward, which is dope as hell. Everybody take full advantage of it this time.
Yep.
Resist magic.
He has to beat a 37.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, great!
Way not gonna happen.
Hey, Greg.
It's a 7. That's a 30 difference.
Technically, it's a crit on this.
What is it?
Anwach.
Okay.
As she would actually cast aloud, and Wim, this would probably be the first time you would hear her cast. She is not quiet now. She's loud, and she does. I don't know. I count as a crit for that. So I don't know what the multiple.
I'll definitely give you the wound.
And it's 9 damage that can't be blocked by armor.
Okay.
And then 15 from his stamina as she literally draws the water out of his body.
15 from his stamina. Okay.
Uh-huh. And then, hey, Greg.
Yep.
Since I'm holding this body of liquid that I've pulled out of this man's body, and I rolled really, really well.
Yes.
Can she just throw it in the other one's face and to kind of give women advantage on that?
So you want to throw Porthos's juice into Starzan's face?
Yes.
I don't see why that would be a problem. Okay, so let me be clear though. 9 damage that cannot be blocked, 15 stamina loss.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't roll for a crit, but yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you the damage, the plus 10 damage on that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to say that because of the nature of this spell, I'm not going to allow that. Because you rolled so high, that's going to be 19 that does not get blocked by armor.
Yeah. And she literally just reaches out and yells aloud and pulls this mass of water out of Porthos and then shoves it in his brother's face in an attempt to try and give Wim some advantage.
And so that's exactly what happens as Porthos seizes, as his body spasms, and as water explodes, drawing his skin dry from exposed throat up jawline. As it rips out, all of a sudden he looks gaunt, he looks dehydrated, he looks older than his brother. And as his brother looks with a odd mix of horror and perhaps a bit of appreciation that now he's the prettier of the two, this same water that came out splashes with a briny salt mixture across his face. Again, roll me a deception check, as this was meant to deceive him and blind him, and we'll see if it works. Remember to hydrate, says Jim.
Doing math. That's a 22. Not my best.
Yeah, 22, and I don't have the right person up here. So many windows. Still, though, with a 20, he takes it full in the face as the splash hits, and he coughs his brother out of his mouth as he sits there, and it oozes down as he is nauseated. And I'm actually going to give him the nauseated sign, as that seems only right. Let's see, that's the pukey one, right? Where's the pukey one? Wait, poison, prone. Well, we have to find it, everybody. We have to find nauseated. It's in here somewhere. Suffocated. Come on. Intoxicated. Nauseated. Is that nauseated? No, it's Quinn. Oh, the hell with it. I can't find it. You know what? We use drunk.
It's the one right next to the picture of
Oh,
ale.
that's the vomit. I didn't see that. It's the green head with vomit coming out. Come on, Greg. Get your shit together. So Starzan is nauseated as he begins to upchuck his brother onto the ground. But we will cut back now to the beginning or the top of the order as we have Billy. An explosion goes off. I need you to roll a stun at a -2. For you, this will be a stun. Whatever you roll, 4 in your favor because of the how do you like that silver in play. So just go ahead and roll it normal and we'll apply it 4 in your favor. Okay, that's an 8. But regardless, you had to roll under that and you did so you are not stunned. But my friend, you are blind as an explosion goes off.
Behind me?
All around you. This explosion pops from the walls as it explodes in this brilliant burning light. You can feel your eyes burning from the rear. You know exactly what this is. It's some type of bomb that you use for hunting, for blowing up nests, but it is also very, very bright. And as it hits you, it blinds you, casting you into a brilliant darkness as nothing before that was in front of you remains, just photo images of everything. It is, however, your turn.
All right, so being completely blinded, I'm striking at sounds.
Right.
All right, so I remember Porthos being still near me. And I see the stuff that Varan had done, correct?
You would have heard a lot of this stuff and seen there was a wavy green wall in between you, but you could probably assume that this would be Varan.
Okay. And I don't know if this has affected them as well. Just me.
It doesn't seem to have affected them.
All right.
At least the last time you saw them before you went blind.
Okay. Then I want to make... They're both within range. Let me see if I can, with sound, discern the most troubled in a brief period of time, and I want to make a grapple on the one audibly that seems the most dismayed.
Right, so this attack would be at a -3, but for you still maintain an advantage of 3. So roll your attack with still a +3.
Okay. Hold on a second. All right. Yeah, grab a wrist. I'm definitely going to burn 3 stamina, and I want to called shot grapple what I assume to be his face, his skull. Just want complete control of his body.
Of course I'm muted. Welcome in, everybody. We are here, and we are doing a little bit of the Witcher Family of Wraiths from Artausorian Games. Currently, Billy has just attempted and successfully pinned. Actually, I think it's was it a body check here to see if you can do it? Yeah, the pin.
Pins, yeah.
Yeah, a pin. What's a dodge escape versus your brawling? So we'll roll another brawling for you and a dodge escape for Porthos. Otherwise, he is going to be pinned to his face.
Because he's already grappled, he gets -2 to that roll.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that's a 15. -2 is 20. So you still have him, but as you go for the face, he's able to move away and keep himself from being pinned. He's going to keep himself from being, maneuvered. You're still locked with him. You still have him. But again, it's the old adage, I have the snake, but so it has me. So we'll see exactly how that plays out here in a moment.
And what's nauseated condition do?
No, I'm sorry. Nauseated. Every 3 rounds, he must roll a body or begin to vomit. So.
Okay. So I can still move, and I want to move with him in tow into one space back.
Okay, technically when you have him grappled, you have to have him pinned to control him. Okay. So yeah, you're able, you're struggling with him. You've got him, but he's not yours yet.
Okay.
You're dancing, but it's not consummated. So take that for what it will.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so with that though, and as all of this begins to happen, and as we have various people disappearing and reappearing, before we get to the 2 twins and what they are going to do, we have somebody else that we need to talk to and find out exactly what it is that they are doing. So, Hawk. Inside your shop, you hear a whistle.
Is it a whistle? Is it a whistle that Ananias has heard before?
Well, whistles in and of themselves are not terribly unique, but I will, because this is your town, I will allow you to roll a human perception.
$22.
Is that with your +6?
I put 6 in all those stat modifier boxes, so is that automatically added to it?
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Yeah, okay. So with a 22, you are able to... You're not sure you've heard this whistle before.
It's not a signal that my street irregulars would be giving or anything like that I would recognize.
No, it's definitely not a planned whistle or a familiar whistle.
Mm-hmm. I take the bag of coin that I was counting out, quickly put it all back in its bag, hide it in a drawer, and lock it behind the counter where I'm at. And then I go to what direction from me is this whistle that I hear?
Out the back.
All right, I go to the back, and at one of the strategically hidden spots, I slide a board out of the way so I can see through an arrow slit that I have built there, just in case need for defense against burglars or other things. And what do I see as I peek through the arrow slit?
You see a beautiful woman.
Is it the same beautiful woman that was in my store just earlier?
It is.
Is she just standing there? Is she doing anything in particular, or is she just standing there taking in the sunlight and being beautiful?
She's looking at you.
Hmm. Interesting. Do I see anything beyond?
Roll me an awareness.
Let me try that again. Didn't go. Oh, here it is. 25.
For a moment, on one of your rooftops, you see a figure that does not match the silhouette of any of your kids. Are you going
Highly
to
irregular.
Are you going to let me in?
Why not come through the door?
One does not enter unless invited, and this is your personal entrance and not the front of your shop.
I turn towards the door. I look at, are both golems there? Or is it just the one?
You have the one in the front and the one you placed earlier in the back, so you can definitely still have the other in the back.
I give verbal commands to both Ezra, Malachi. Defensive positions. Scenario 1.
Ezra stands in the front room and fills the door that opens inward, the little bell dingling against the massive chest as it holds position as a blockade. Malachi moves to a standing position and stands in front of the rear door.
If you wish to come in, come to the front door.
Are we playing games now?
All right, I need to clarify, is this veteran I see, or is this someone else that I see?
This is someone else that you see.
Okay, I was confused there. I play no games, you just are behaving a little peculiar than I would imagine, and I signal to Ezra at the front door. At ease, temporary.
It takes one step back, and the bell dings as it's removed from its chest. Ding, ding, ding.
Is she standing at the rear door?
Mm-hmm.
Or is she, okay. I give the same order to Malachi.
She
Come in.
motions for you to open the door.
Interesting. All right, just to be safe, I double check the hidden pocket in my sleeve to make sure the hidden sleeve in my right hand arm of my coat to make sure the stiletto is still there.
Oh, it is?
To reassure myself, then I go and open the door. By all means, come in.
She sweeps in. Are we playing games now, Ananias?
All of life tends to be a game depending on which pawns on the board are being moved. What kind of games are you referring to?
The kind that end with people dead.
I have no plans on playing that type of game. Why? Dost thou?
Are you being honest?
Of course not.
Then I'm going to need you to roll something, my friend.
Something in the deception line?
Something in the deception line.
Let's see. So deceit.
Sounds good. Of course. So we can be friends.
Of course, we can be friends. The most important thing in life is to be friends and have friends. It's all a part of life. L'chaim.
She kind of looks over her shoulder back towards the alleyway. Stay in your shop.
Why? Are things about to happen?
The world is a dangerous place. As a friend, your shop seems very safe.
I do my best to make my humble shop a safe haven.
What's the name of your man?
Which man would that be?
I am unaware. We found a body. I thought that it resembled the man that you had in your store.
Dickens?
That's it. Pickens. Older fellow.
Yes. Always wears the same black and red plaid shirt, the same gray hat that he's had for the past 50 years.
And there was no hat, but the shirt matches. I thought his face seemed familiar. I'm sorry to
Where
tell
did
you.
this happen? What happened to him?
They found him in the harbor. I guess
The harbor,
drowners.
you say?
Not sure what he was doing down by the docks, but it's an unsafe place for one his age.
The docks can be unsafe for anybody. Young
Quite.
or old.
Quite. As can shops, alleyways. Age is a terrible thing, my friend. If nature doesn't get you, something else will.
Is there any way I can do an insight check on her just discovering the body?
Human perception, yeah. Takes you a second. But she is lying.
Mm-hmm. I think to myself, a shot across the forward bow. How gutsy, how foolish. I think this all to myself.
Stay in your shop, old man. Agreed.
Unless I see my safety is best suited otherwise, I shall.
She moves towards the front. Remember that the docks are unsafe.
Remember depending on where you are in any town, even a concert hall is not safe.
She stops.
Be
So
safe too, my friend.
her back is still to you, but she turns, exposing a bit of her jaw, the side of her eye. So a game it is then.
The first pawn on the chessboard appears to have been moved. However, you never know how many pieces will be involved. The opening has just begun. You never know what kind of gambits might be in store.
A shame you have already lost a bishop.
Sometimes sacrifices give advantage. Sometimes they give incentive.
She turns and faces the door, the rear of the front door. Should I throw the body out with the trash or burn it?
Neither. You take it to the temple like anybody in this town would be taken, so his body can be prepared properly. He was not mere trash. He was a good man. More of a mensch than 90% of the other people in this town.
You certainly could scream.
Do I see any of her ruffians outside?
Are you going to turn around to look out the back, or are you going to move up to the front to look out, or?
Where she is, out the front.
You wouldn't be able to tell because you're kind of still in the back room. You let the door in and she's walked into your front area. If you want to go up, I mean, this is your place. If you want to go up and look out the front, you absolutely can.
Doesn't matter. I command Ezra. Right shoulder, now. I'm commanding Ezra to grab a hold of her by the right shoulder and squeeze hard. Hard enough to make it known, but not hard enough to injure.
Ezra's hand passes through air.
Your magics may help you now, but don't forget, this town is not your town yet. This town has a lot more than meets the eye.
I'm very appreciative that you said the word yet.
And if most of us here in this town have any word in it, that will be changed to a different word. If.
The trash it is.
Good. If you place him there, I can guarantee you he won't be alone much longer.
She turns back, or whatever projection this is turns back and smiles. Dear old man, you couldn't just play along, could you? You couldn't just do your job.
Oh, but that's where you're wrong. I am doing my job. Age and guile beat youth and poorly executed magics.
Poorly executed. She collects herself.
Don't forget, we all have our weaknesses, even you. We're all nothing but hedonistic animal pigs. when it all boils down to it. And that even includes you.
You must have been something. And she looks down at your toes, to your knees, to your stomach, to your chest, to your face. Before you got so old.
You look at old as a disadvantage. I look at it as my secret weapon.
We shall see. Perhaps you will be the first one to harness the power of near death. Would you mind telling your thing to open the door?
Well, if you're as incorporeal as you're presenting yourself, one should not need to open the door for one such as you. Or is this just merely parlor tricks as well?
Call it a test. Stay in.
Ezra,
She stops.
even though she does not earn the title, open the door for the lady.
The golem does so. She steps forward to the door frame, turns back. Perhaps not so beautiful now, even though her appearance hasn't changed at all. She looks back. I wish we could have played the game longer. But I have a town to take care of.
As do I.
She smiles and bows a bit. The little girl's next.
Oh, really? Rather than being an adult, you pick on children, you pick on old men, you pick on people sneak up from them behind. Heaven forbid you face them like an adult. I guess that's what makes me old. I'm man enough to be willing to face you, not want to hide behind parlor tricks and ruffians. Beware of hirelings. They can be bought, they can be sold, and they can turn their back on you as quickly as an adder.
It depends on how much you've paid for them. Your bishop's gone, old man. Your knight is next. She walks through the door.
Just be careful. Your rooks aren't in good shape either.
What does a queen need with rooks?
A king can be taken by any piece on the board. King, queen, knight, bishop, rook, or even a measly pawn. The important thing is knowing where to move and what to move.
She nods again and says, Ezra, close the door. And the golem reaches and grabs the door and pulls it closed. Stay in your shop, old man. And
Hide in your concert hall, little girl.
you hear an airy laugh that travels along the street outside. And she turns.
I see her?
She turns around and says, Hello, Ezrin.
Who is it?
You would know this person as Kel Hollow.
No! I see. I'm just asking because I was thinking maybe it could be someone else that could have been, like, it could have been a lot of people. It could have been a lot of people. Like, it could have been some third party that we'd never heard of before. It's fine.
And as that happens, we are going to cut back to Eris, my friend. You've waited quite some time, and I just needed this to all kind of head towards the point. As you are running, I need you now to roll me another athletics. We're going to catch you up here. Or not.
Okay. Another athletics. I'm just looking. I've been looking to see if I've got anything else that would give me but I think athletics is probably going to be my best bet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for a 28.
Is that with the 6 in it?
Yeah.
Okay. So at this time, as you run into the next alleyway, you see that it tapers between two buildings into an almost triangular point, like a wedge, but it's only up one floor. And you believe that you could scale it quickly. How do you do so?
Literally, as he's running along, he just keeps repeating, "Gotta go fast. Gotta get to win." Nothing else. He looks terrible. He smells terrible. He looks ragged and worn. There are screams going nearby in alleyways as a wraith tears through walls. But that's where his focus is at. And as he's running along, he literally, like, he's midway through running towards that sort of like conjunction in the alley, and then one foot just hop and a skip, touches off one wall, then kicks over, touches off the other wall, and both hands just grab hold of the roof, and he's on the roof running.
And as soon as you kind of pike up onto the roof and begin to run, just below you, as the alleyway kind of bridges back out in an almost in and out of an X, as you're running along the edge, you see tears pop out of one of the walls, and she looks up, and you see this huge smile on her face as she realizes you're keeping up with her. And she, if a wraith can lower their head to run faster, you see her kind of begin to blur as her frame and the etherealness of her cuts through the middle of a main street. Roll me another athletics as a caravan is going by. A horse rears up that she passes through. As you are running, you have to jump across now to a neighboring rooftop.
That'll be a 26.
Tell me how you do it then.
Literally, you said it was a carriage. Is it one of those carriage? Is it like a personal carriage that someone's?
It is. It's like a cloth top carriage.
Fantastic. There's a moment where so a wraith passes through, and there's like the vision of someone passing through, and everyone freaks out, but nothing moves because nothing is touched, and like probably scares the absolute shit out of the people inside, just looking like the door didn't move, nothing moved, nothing, and then suddenly Aris smashes through the window like a hair's breadth after her, and just like takes out the adjacent door and just keeps running. Like it just like, holy shit, that bang, and then suddenly like he's right on her tail, running almost side by side with her.
So the carriage handler, who is on the driver's side, is fighting to hold the horse in place as tears goes through the horse. And before this man can curse or scream or vomit or shit himself, whatever he's going to do, inside the personal carriage, there is a very well-to-do lady of the city who is dressed smartly with a high collar, and her child, who's in short pants, also has a little kind of knickered tie. And as the wraith goes through, she screams, his eyes get huge, and as you bust through and take the door out, she screams and just comically faints, as does the driver. He too passes away as all of this just happened in the middle of a split second. And as the din of horse still pulling this carriage back and forth and it rocking with you having just jumped through it, the little boy goes, "Yes!" And yeah, right. As you go through, he screams, and straight out of the storybooks, as you begin running, And up ahead, you can see a circle of light appear, and you see Varon step out and begin to cast a spell. Roll me one more athletics, as while everyone else was conversing and talking and having these moments, you have been hauling ass. So let's see.
That's another 28.
One thing remains between you and presumably at least Varon. You don't see your brother yet, but as you are racing through this straight shot, this straight arrow, you see that there is a framework of an additional building being put up, the scaffolding, if you were, of lumber and piping and everything to carry up stone to be fitted, as all of these baskets and strings, and the pulley system there is very complicated for the layman, but Tears looks back at you and passes through it as she is going through the wood, through the piping, through the pulley system. But you've rolled a 28. Tell me how you get through it.
There's just a blur of movement as he vaults over the edge of sort of like a cordon holding people back from the main street so they don't wander anywhere dangerous. Cuts with the implement in his hand, cuts through a pulley system which kind of like launches him forward, and as he like sort of uses that little bit of extra momentum, he will grab something in one hand from probably a bucket or like just a small crate made of wood that would have a small carry handle for one of the workers. And by the time he like flies down to land in the alley, he didn't bring his swords. I stated that very clearly. I left them at the tavern. So now what you see is he has in one hand a bone saw, and in the other hand he has a hammer. And Viper's dual wield, motherfucker. Let's do this.
Very, very well. So as you arrive, Varon has done what she has just done, and everyone bears witness. So I will go back to our map. As Porthos and Starzan being hammered by unexpected, a very wily bear, Porthos is going to attack twice and try to hit. Let's see here.
Didn't Porthos throw his sword, didn't that fly out and hit his brother? His second sword?
No, his sword chipped a piece of wood that became a splinter, like a dagger splinter. And let's see, the second attack would be... So that's a 25 and a 36.
Okay. So Porthos is the one I'm currently grappling, so do those have -2? Those have -2 to them?
No, Porthos is able to attack you. He just can't move. You have him basically,
right.
Yeah, you have him, but he attacks. He does not have a disadvantage on the attack if it's you. If it's anybody else, he'd have the that's in melee range. He has a disadvantage against.
Okay. All right, I'll dodge the first.
Holy shit! All right.
So do I need to roll a crit dice for that?
No, you have successfully dodged that first one as he throws it into your stomach and then pulls it back and thrusts again.
Then he's going to try to use his other arm that he's not grappling with in like a windmill action to try to parry it out of the way.
Okay. So with a parry, I believe that's -3.
Yep. All right, and that would be brawling.
-3 + 3. But still +3. But still +3. But still +3.
Still +3, right.
Crap. I thought I was muted.
Okay, so that's a 28.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 28 and a 36, and that is Greater than 7. Roll me a d12, my friend.
Seven.
Okay. Okay, this will be good. So, as he jams this sword into your gut, let me roll some damage so we know what we're dealing with here. For 17 damage as he jams the sword and finally getting purchase into your gut. As he drags it along, it does an additional 3 damage, taking it to 20. As much like Dusa experienced, he spits into the wound as he pulls it back out. Just this almost like a projection of spit as it lances in, and you immediately feel it burning. As it begins to not cauterize, it eats away. It's almost necrotic. You can feel the burning, the almost instant fever of infection as he launches 2 more attacks. Or just 1 more, I'm sorry, 1 more attack. So whatever this says, it's just the first attack. And that's going to be a 41.
Greg?
Yes. Conversation.
What? And then, sorry, is he calling a shot to my torso every time?
He is.
All right, and you're putting those minuses in there?
Yeah, I'm going through and clicking the torso drop, which is -1, so.
Greg. I am currently... I said I was slightly behind Tears. She went through first, which means she's ahead of me.
Sure.
I want Tears. You know that thing? I want Tears. Over to Whim. What have I got to make here? What do you want? What do you want in exchange? You know, I hope you know what I'm talking about. The thing, the one I'll message you. But basically, what do I have to do to give this to my dear old Whim here? That thing.
Just ask.
That's 100% like where his head is at.
Okay. So, as this shot drives back into your... you make your dodge here. I mean, you could easily block this, or...
Yeah,
well, not easily, but it'd be a hell of a move.
Yeah, let's go dodge.
So with a 33, that is actually going to take you down. I need you to roll me a d12. And with 2... make sure...
And the hit points in the beginning were 5, right, of the episode?
Yeah. This is going to be a total of 20 damage that pierces through, but this time, as it comes through, much like Dusa, this goes through your stomach, almost like as he's trying to put it back into the same hole that he just made. He drives it in again, but this time he steps down as he walks by, and you feel your knee crack and give as it just takes you by. As you dodge, he stepped into it and caught you at the knee, and you feel your knee buckle. What this means is you have -3 to any actions with that leg. So you're -3 to speed, -3 to dodge escape, and -3 to athletics.
Neato gang.
Starzan is going to take his attacks at whim as well. Oh wait, I rolled with the wrong guy. Hold on. My bad, everybody. I have 2 identical character sheets. Sort of. Yeah, here's the Joker. So let's see. Oh. So the first one's a 6. Don't even have to roll for that. You're going to beat it. The second one is a 19.
Okay, so now there's no bonuses now because the 2 -3s, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna block this one with my 1 free arm that's left. So
Gotcha.
my arm can take the hit. And then since it's block, it doesn't have one of those -3s, right?
One of the -3s. No, you.
It's minus dodge. -3 was to dodge.
Right. No. Yeah. Block
wasn't
does
on-
not have the -3. Correct. I'm sorry. Yes. So you do, in fact, block this shot as you are blind, pretty much swinging by pure instinct, by pure spatial awareness as to what you are doing. I just want to tell you, too, that Big Pig sent $25 into, and I'm assuming that is a bit of a gift for Billy. And Swallow has just come in for whim as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it because this is a story and the Legion has just helped to tell this story, everybody. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell the tale because everybody backstage chat, everyone here is telling a story. And so let's do it as well as we can. Starzan pulls around with that missed and failed attempt, but with his last and final attack, he is able to step on the side of Whim's leg for a moment, and he pulls back, ready to strike, ready to run his sword through the chest of the bear. But just as he's ready to do it, just as the point goes in, just as the mage behind him is beginning to cast, as Brother and Wraith are charging into the scene, jumping into the air, everything freezes. The world becomes very still. And actually you all hear this. Whim, you are breathing, but you can't see anything that's going on. You're unaware of the stillness of the world. You're unaware that Porthos and Starzan have both frozen, that your brother is there, that he is frozen, that Varan is frozen, that the Wraith Tears is frozen. But you hear, no, not on my wedding day. And you feel a hand take yours, Whim. Right this way.
I was in the middle of something.
Oh, I'm going to allow you to finish this because it didn't quite seem fair. And again, it's a very special day.
What's your name?
Oh, Gaunter O'Dim. Pleasure to meet you, Whim.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Oh,
And
here.
he's like
Right.
sweating and breathing very, very hard, still holding on to Porthos by the wrist.
You feel this person that's identified themselves as Gonter O'Dim has your hand, and let's go this way. It'll be easier if it's more even Steven, so to speak.
And he takes a step with his leg, and it kind of crumples, and he's like, "Ah, fuck!" And then he puts his weight on his other leg and doesn't ask for help, but continues to walk forward.
Oh, that won't do at all. And the health that was given to you by Sphinx floods through you, and your leg is healed.
How'd you do that? I'm supposed I'm going to be in debt to you?
No. Well, I mean, what is a favor between friends?
Depends on the favor.
You feel the hand leave yours and climb up to your shoulder, and you hear birds. You feel the breeze. Still can't see, but you feel the breeze of a forest of the Blue Mountains. You remember when we walked in there like this?
Yeah. Where the fuck you been?
Long story.
What you want me to do?
It's gonna get dicey, compadre.
Yeah, figured that once my leg broke.
Hurts, don't it?
Better feelings for sure. But I'd take that over wiping my ass with a cactus.
Well, listen, remember the woods?
Yeah.
Yes, the woods, they were lovely. I was there too. Couldn't see me. You had your eyes closed.
What were you doing there?
Watching. This is a hell of a story.
Just for entertainment, or you?
No. I have skin in this game.
And whose side are you on?
It's an odd question.
Yeah, well, the man I'm hearing in my head right now, Ezekon, is dead, supposedly murdered by other witches. Several others conspired against him. So, you let that happen. But it mended my leg. So, whose side are you on?
I'm here for the story. I really would like to see how it turns out.
And what are you interested in me?
Why, my friend, you're one of the players. A star, so to speak.
I don't like attention.
Isn't it strange that those that do not crave fame or the focus of politics, gods, and ires seems to always be the ones that cause the most change?
Yeah. Well, was Ezekon a vision? Like, is he still present?
You can't see. You don't feel the arm on your shoulder, though, anymore.
Did you bring him here?
Did
Try
I
to soften me up?
Did I bring who here?
The guy you mentioned in the woods. Ezekon of Kreve.
I can't spoil that part of the story.
Well, then, you're going to ask me to do something for you, I suppose?
Yes, yes. I've made a lot of bargains with your friends, but yours is a simple one. You like quiet, like to be alone. I appreciate that. So when I ask, simply spend a year with me.
Just sitting down, or am I going to be...
Oh no, we travel around quite a bit, but I appreciate someone that knows when to speak and when to appreciate the silence.
Even if someone else needs me?
Well, I will always need you more.
Comes across as kind of subjective. Do I have any say in when this is, or when you call I come walking like a dog?
Of course not. Give you ample warning.
And in exchange,
Yes?
you just make me leg better?
Oh, no, no. When the time comes, I will keep your brother from killing himself.
Why the fuck would he do that?
Oh, why the fuck would he?
When does he do that?
Again, I'm a fan of the story. I'm not going to tell you what happens. Even I don't know all of it. There is a book, though. Good read.
A book?
A
On
book?
this?
Well, around this.
And you can buy it in a shop? Or it's kept in some rich man's cellar?
No, this isn't some video game.
Video game?
I'm sorry, Gwent.
Oh, trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. But, can he suss out if there's any sort of lie or deceit involved in knowing that his brother's like his weak spot? To see if that was like a move.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can roll human perception if you want.
That's brawling, right?
It is, yes. It absolutely is brawling.
Hold on. 23.
Well... Oh, you know what? Everybody donated so much, I'm just going to give this one to you. Odim is very aware that Eris is your weak spot.
I can't discern anything about whether there's truth in what he's saying about him killing himself, or if he just spun that out of thin air.
He seems adamant about that. But again, this is a very odd fellow you're dealing with. You're not sure. You get the idea that he knows what buttons to push, but you're not sure if he has his own version of things, you would think. You're not sure what that means for you. Who can
Mr. Odim.
Yes.
You can tell a lot about a person about how they treat dogs. So before I enter this deal with you, in order to determine if you are a kind man, I just want you to be completely honest with me. The last dog you encountered, how'd you treat?
Last dog I encountered. Four-legged dogs, correct?
Yeah, not the ones that turn into dogs by the light of the moon.
Oh, see that. Well, I've always enjoyed them. I never had one.
Let's say, right now, from behind you, one comes up to you, barks a little bit, and sits down. What would you do?
What color is it?
It's got long hair, orange almost, ginger, big eyes, floppy ears, drool a little bit, but not too much. No collar. Just wanted to be in your company. Granted, in this scenario, you're very busy.
I'm always busy, but this dog sounds delightful.
How would you?
I'm
I want to see.
I'm not quite sure I appreciate this very much, because now I am upset that I have a dog that is imaginary, and I cannot have this dog because you've explained it so exquisitely, and now I feel a bit of remorse. Is that what you're looking for? That I am upset that I do not have a dog that you have just made up?
I'm not looking to inflict harm on people. That's the worst kind of harm, you ask me. You
I
ain't done
agree.
Nothing bad to me, so I just wanted to learn a little bit more about you. If I'm going to be spending a year with you, it's like a free sample.
Okay, well, I believe I am pining for a dog that does not exist. And I feel a bit pissed at you for creating a dog that I like in my mind.
Yeah. But would you touch it? Would you just let it sit there? Would you swat it away? Just give me some... It's important to me.
I would hug this dog that you have made up in your mind. I feel the regret of not being able to.
Perfect, then we've got a deal.
I'm not sure I want one now. You're very cruel to do this to me. Now, search
Maybe
the
you
earth
could-
for this dog, or the continent for this dog.
What would you name it?
How... I can't... If I put a name to it, then I'll care about it.
Ain't that the rub?
I'd probably call him Flack.
That's a nice name.
So short for reflection.
Huh. That makes sense.
Does it? I'm usually not sad after I make a deal, but I'm sad. Oh well, you want to kill these twins now, or?
Yeah.
Well, fine. I'm going to go back and sit with the Legion. I mean, I'm going to go somewhere and look for a dog named Fleck that I want very badly. Anyway, your eyes are back now, and with a touch, you feel your vision pop back, and you are standing beside Veron, and your brother runs flying, and I'm going to leave this up to Eris. Eris, you come flying in. Oh, and this is not there anymore either. Eris, you come flying in, and your brother's position changes. I will allow you to stop or continue on into the group. He seems hurt. And I'm not going to take agency away from Billy, but he suffered some pretty big wounds.
So we are where we are on the map. I am passing him.
Tears is with you. You are in a dead sprint right now. She's not stopping.
Which one stabbed him?
Porthos is the one that got in the good hit.
And which one's Porthos? Green or not green?
Not green, not sick.
Okay.
He's the one that's
Not it?
He's the one that's gaunt with dehydrated awful.
He's not sick. Well, that's something. At least he's got something going for him. Because let me tell you, I am going in, and if you will permit me, I would like to attack him with some things. I just bail past, and like as I do so, I'm tagging Tears. Her job is now Whim. So I'll let that happen when it gets to Whim, but I just fly past. And what kind of roll do you need to make to attack with a bone saw? What kind of damage does that do? What does a standard hammer do?
Let us see if you hit, and then we'll go with
Well, what am I rolling to hit with? Is what I mean. Like
just regular.
what I mean.
You can roll swordsmanship with this one. I'm not going to have small blades because I think
Oh,
and then do your.
It makes no difference. They're both 8.
There you go. And then small blades, if you will.
Fantastic. Okay, let's do this. So this is coming in, and no, that's not an extra action. It is, we'll say, we'll call this that. So there's that. I am going to, for the first one, call headshot on him.
Nice.
And I'm gonna burn 2 luck.
Okay. So this is a +5 to whatever this roll is, because you would still have had. Well, no, it's a 6 modifier for the called headshot. So that gets kind of wiped out by the 6 that you have, and then yeah. So have at it.
And then how much is it to aim at the torso from a second attack?
-1, so it'd still be a
Minus
+5
1.
for you. Yeah.
Actually, wait. Is he left or right-handed?
Well, let's see. Porthos is left-handed because port and starboard.
Well, I'll go for his sword arm then. So that's plus that. So that's a 27 for the headshot.
Shit. Okay, let's dodge that one first, or not. It is not a dodge, but it's not a crit. But it's still
By 1, it isn't
not.
a crit.
It's not a crit by 1.
Damn you get. Okay, so that's that. So what do I need to roll for this damage wise?
2d6 plus 2, and then we'll times that by 3.
So that's 13. So that's 39.
What do you do to Porthos's face? He is still alive, but his face is up to you.
Literally, as I come in, if you'll permit for this to be a bit of a fancy, can I also roll some damage with the hammer? If that's a 30 for him to try and I want this to be a 2-part beauty.
Sure. I should have done. I should have known. Damn it. 26. So you still hit.
How much damage does that do? For
Let's see.
Standard hammer.
I think it's a 1d6 for like a common tool. 1d6 plus 2.
Sure. So this is to his arm that he's wielding his arm in, but that's still 8 damage. I know that's halved, but
down to 4. So the total of that whole thing would be 43.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me how you kill Porthos.
As I come in, literally, I come in with the hammer first in one hand. I basically, like, at the last moment, come in, pull the saw blade back, bring the hammer over, and he goes up to block with the hammer. And as he does, I let the hammer go. It bangs into his arm, knocking it to one side, and I just bring the saw blade through. Starts about at his eye, goes down, takes half his bottom jaw, cuts through his throat, hits his shoulder, and just embeds in place. And I'm going to leave it there and draw both my knives and look at his brother. And I'm going to pour a shitload of stamina in, and I'm going to fuck this guy up.
Let's do it. And I'm going to, just because I want to, I'm going to roll a body for Starzan to see if he starts vomiting. Because why not? Still body save. Yeah, so he you know, but he doesn't. His brother, however, super dead.
Fantastic. In which case, now I'm actually using weapons that I'm good with. So I'm a come for you. So that will be I will make this another fast attack. So that's 2 fast attacks coming in with the meteorite poignard and the standard poignard. So that is there. And you know what? Fuck you. I'm calling another headshot because screw you. So the first one's a headshot. The second one is just normal.
Gotcha.
So this is that. Second one will just be random. And that is that. That is a fumble for the first one.
He will dodge the first one. And he will get hit by the second one, though.
Let me roll. That's leg. And I believe that's a crit. 33 versus 22.
It is, and it would get... So roll me a d12.
8.
You're able to sink it a bit into his ribs as it cracks, as you're able to drive it into his leg. It does get deflected by his armor, but you see him wince on the side, causing him to vomit a little. As you're standing there, and Starzan has already taken damage, and so he's kind of woozy. His brother is super dead beside him, explained as you did with this bisected blade through him. He's standing there. Your brother's behind you. But I would like to go to our mage for a second. Baran, would you roll me an awareness check?
Honestly, I'd be happy to. $27.
You see, at the edge of one of the buildings off to the side, a robed figure.
Is he moving?
The robed figure begins to cast and then stops. And for a moment you see a portal opening behind Starzan, and then it closes.
She's gonna do a thing.
Sure.
Because she's pissed. She brings her staff up hard and slams it into the ground. And this Frostfang. And from it, you see 4 really, shards, giant shards, the size of Deuce's sword of ice, go towards each of these figures to impale them in place. So they both need to roll a dodge against her spellcasting.
Yeah, this is going at Starzan and distant.
Whoever distant dumbfuck is, I'm not worrying about.
Because I love everything that you just said, and I love everything that Josh just did, and I love everything that's happened tonight because you all are absolutely amazing. Tell me how these huge 6-foot icicles kill Starzan, because there ain't no fucking way he's getting through this. He has no stamina left. He can't dodge. It's a DC 10.
He's yeah, and against a 36. I think the only person who would see it is, well, Wim, you have your sight back, right?
Wim's back.
You would see coming out from the bottom of the staff along the ground 2 trails of ice that go one opposite directions, one towards Starzan, and it just kind of emerges at him, and 2 literally 6 foot long, 2 meter long icicles in stalagmites of ice impale him, one through the shoulder, pinning him to the whatever building is, and the other one going through basically his torso at kind of like a downward angle.
It pierces it pierces the chain of the dragon amulet as it falls to the ground.
Yeah.
and he is hanging there. The two brothers, so sure of their hunt before, so very unsure of it now. Or they would be unsure if they weren't super dead.
And what about the other dude on the freaking roof?
The robed figure, because I too have winds howling,
I know.
and there's some time. Instead of a portal that takes Starzen away, a portal appears behind, and the hooded figure bows and walks through as it
She
closes.
literally flips them off.
And as that occurs, and as the brothers are reunited, and Wim, we'll leave with this. The wraith known as Tears appears in front of you. Her hair suspended as if underwater. And her hands come up and take the side of your face. Do you do anything?
Try to remain calm. Just
Roll.
repress the natural instinct and try to force acceptance onto the situation.
Roll me a courage. Just so I can see one thing. Fucking awesome. That is so awesome. Okay. So as she, not an ounce, if there is any in you, no fear, no revulsion betrays you, as you've said. The eyes, now clear of Wim, hold no animosity, or at least outwardly displayed animosity, for the creature in front of you, this wraith, so many you've put down. You can feel the pads of her 10 fingers touch the sides of your cheeks. They're cold, but not uncomfortably so. And almost comically, even though she's floating, she tiptoes up and moves your face and kisses you on the left cheek and then kisses you on the right cheek. And as she does so, her hair continues to move and brushes against you, and you can feel the damp tendrils, but in a weird contrast, her hair is warm, as if touched by a tropical sea. And when she pulls back, she looks at you and smiles, and she does not appear a wraith, at least traditionally so. She seems a beautiful woman. And you have 10 hit points back.
And Wim will like look up, relaxed, appreciative of this feeling of newfound hit pointage. Hey, I heard there's a wedding today. Would you like to see it?
She just smiles. And that takes us to Dusa. Dusa, the trail to Ezekon of Kreve heads down an alleyway. You saw him duck in, but you were 30, 40 yards back. Do you follow?
Yep.
Roll me awareness.
$16.
You smell the beggar tick. But you don't see him.
Follow the scent.
You round a corner, still no visual sight. You still smell it, though.
Is it getting further? Is it close? Is it? How far is this source?
Again,
Is
it's
this
almost
far?
like being in a the perfume or cologne aisle of a department store. You have the scent so firmly in your carriage now. It's difficult to say. It's not lessening any. But as far as pinpointing with that awareness roll, it's impossible to really say, you don't think it's getting further, you think it's closer.
Is it getting closer? He's trying to determine where the hell this guy is. He's looking around, he's smelling, and he's going to draw his sword.
You unwrap it. I'm assuming you're talking about the 6-foot job, right?
Yeah. It's going to unwrap the leather thong that's around it and
Now that's a sword. It seems to be coming from higher in the alley. Still, you have no idea where.
he's going to make a sign and drawing upon the power of earth, he will create a shield of Quinn.
Are you the only one that can do that in your little group?
Where's this voice coming from? He's trying to determine.
Up.
Look up.
Yeah, in 30 seconds, I'll allow you to roll another awareness check.
He's not answering this guy. He'll raise his sword in a high guard, withdrawn, kind of like a Conan guard next to his head.
You are doing this for some unfound sense of loyalty. You don't know what Ezekon was up to. You wouldn't be defending him if you did.
I don't care what he was up to. He was my friend.
You should know then that I killed him. But I wasn't alone.
Of course you weren't.
Your friends are all going to die, and so are you.
But you're gonna die first.
Doubtful. What will it take to end this, Dusa? Just walk away. Go back to retirement.
Come out here, dog, where I can see you. Coward.
No. I've already beaten you. Next time, I'll kill you like a thief.
Why wait?
I want you to live with failure for a bit. I want you to watch the rest of them die. I don't want it. If you walk away, I won't be disappointed. It's a shame. You're not a real Witcher anyway. Not anymore. We're only after real Witchers.
That's right. I'm not a real Witcher anymore. I'm a hunter.
Then go back to hunting the easy game, Dusa.
You are the easy game.
I wish I could say I look forward to killing you, but I don't.
I could care less. That's enough words, dog.
Roll your awareness.
That's a critical hit.
Sure is. Boy, you all in your criticals. Roll me your additional critical now.
Oh, fuck man.
32. He's up on a balcony. As a sheet blows, you see his silhouette revealed. He's holding a hand crossbow.
So I'm gonna run for the entrance to that building. If I can spot it.
You can. You get inside, you continue to use the sword as a pike to bounce you off the walls, to get you up the flight, the bend in the flight, to the second floor, through an abandoned room, to the balcony. But all that remains is the beggar tick.
I'll take a look around, try to see if there's anything, you know.
Roll me either, if you want to track, roll me a wilderness survival. If you want just a general idea of what's going on and just look around, you can roll me an awareness. If there's something particular you would like to uncover from the location beyond the beggar tick, roll me a deduction.
Gonna try to. He's trying to pinpoint where this guy is. So he's not sure about the rest. So that's 16 plus 4. That's 20.
He was here. It looks like he leapt down into the alley as soon as you left. You don't see him.
Yeah, Dusa will lean against the railing and hang his head.
He's not nice, says a voice from the ledge beside you.
And having taken this moment to himself, he'll slowly turn towards the speaker.
It's Susie. What would you do if you could find him?
I would kill him.
Your leg looks hurt.
That's not an issue for me. Can you help me find him?
Yeah, but I'm not going to help you die.
What makes you think I'm going to die just because I have a wounded leg?
Because he doesn't have a wounded leg.
Well, he doesn't have a big sword either, does he?
No, he doesn't. Tell you
What's
what,
he gonna- Yeah.
I know where they stay.
And what's it gonna take for you to tell me?
Promise.
What promise?
That you'll wait till your leg's better before you fight him.
I don't have the luxury of time.
Sure you do.
What do you know about that?
I'm a lot older than I look. And at this point you see a slight point in her ears.
How long do I think is it going to take for my leg to get better?
I mean, you knew that Ezekon had this wound basically forever, until the last couple years of his life, and it seemed to get better, kind of remarkably so. You figure if you could find probably like a master physician, somebody that, mechanically speaking, somebody that had healing hands.
See, look, it's not only about footwork. Just tell me where he is.
She looks at you from the ledge. I'll think about it. And reaches over and grabs one of the pulleys, cuts the weighted sandbag on the other side, and zips upward.
All right, well, deuce after. Collecting himself, he'll head downstairs and try to find his. Try to head to where he heard those screams and everything.
And as you move back into the path to kind of retrace yourself, we're going to say that eventually you do get behind Ananias' shop where the brothers Wim and Eris are with the mage Varan. But outside in the front of Ananias' shop is Ezrin, standing face to face with Kel Hollow. But that's where we'll start next week, as we end this session of The Witcher. Yay, everybody. You all are awesome. Thanks for letting me jump around there, everybody. It's tough when you all split up, but I love it when you all split up. So keep splitting up and we can do fun stuff. But you all are great. Legion, you're great. Let's go around and talk to these great people. Let's start with JF. JF, my friend, how are you doing? And where can we find you online, my friend?
You can find me at Double Crits. Yeah, that was very, very, very entertaining, amazing to behold. I enjoyed the montage of scenes. The scene with Hawkeye and Calhello was great. Very dramatic fighting, very well done. I can see my faith was not misplaced. Wim kicked butt. So thanks for that. That was inspiring.
Awesome, my friend. Awesome. And please follow JF online. Link is in the chat. Does some great things. And as I say with everybody that I'm blessed to play with, kind. We need kind. JF is kind. Let's jump down to Josh. Josh, my friend, how are you? Where can we find you online?
I'm good. I'm very good. A little sore after that episode. Not as sore as one of the twins is, though. Puns, get fucked. So anyway, you can find me on Friday over on Encounter Roleplay, where I will be having the shit scared out of me by Don, as we are delving back into the Orphans of Seawell and The Haunting of Seawall Orphanage, which was great. Last episode, I got charged by a crazy guy with an axe, and I shot him with a shotgun. Doesn't sound like that big a deal, but considering this is a TTRPG based in the Stephen King universe, and I'm basically playing myself at 16, it was a traumatic instance to actually shoot another person with a double-barrel shotgun. But lots of things are happening. It's kind of crazy at the moment, and there could be even crazier things on the way. I know a spoiler about something that's coming up. I don't know if it's common knowledge, but there is something that is going to be happening this up-and-coming episode that I don't think people are going to see coming. I don't know. It's going to be a surprise, and I think it's going to pertain to everyone. So I'm very excited to give you that juicy exclusive, and we will see you there on Friday. As for everything else, you can find me online at roleplayers_TV, and that's me.
Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic. And Hawk, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, the adrenaline's back down a little bit now. I think I'm doing fine. You can find me on
if I have
all
to,
over the place.
Let me say, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to jump in. Great scene, my friend. That was a fantastic
Thank
scene.
you.
And now go right ahead.
And Ananias, like myself, can be very stubborn and bullheaded, and very much like a pit bull holding onto the bone that doesn't want to let go. So that was a lot of fun to do there. You can find me here on Twitch. Cancer Cleric by day, RPG Fanboy by night on my own channel on Twitch. On Tuesday nights we do my Lego stream. We're still doing Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. We've got all of our pink Gwenpool bricks, so now we're going back after all the mini kits and rescuing Stan Lee all over the place and stuff like that. Thursday nights is my weekly Skyrim serial. Well, getting ready for episode 3 of The Fang and the Claw, where a former Templar Knight who happens to have a slight touch of lycanthropy is becoming a vampire hunter. And then, of course, Saturday night, 7 p.m., we'll be back in line with Grappler's Keep, the WWE 2K universe, where we have various DMs, GMs, and RPG players across the Twitch plane competing in the ring we affectionately call the Dice Tray. We have the women's singles tournament and the women's tag team tournament going on right now. Going to try to get that all set up so we can have a big, for the women's singles, hoping to set up a kind of a King of the Ring tournament kind of thing to crown the champion for that. So looking forward to get that going. Otherwise, if I'm not on the screen, that means I'm probably lurking somewhere, finding a way to slide some advantages your way. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you, Hawk. Thank you. And Trooper, my friend. Trooper, how are you? Mazel tov, by the way.
Hey. You know what's really cool about splitting the party? When all the party's together, except for one person not. That's the best. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Because my character doesn't know a whole bunch of stuff that other people know. That's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. The next game is like what, in 5 minutes? Did you say? Is that no? What? Oh,
almost.
I'm Trooper SJP, and you can find me on my channel, Trooper SJP. I play video games, but right now I'm running a Fate French Resistance campaign called City of Light and Shadow on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And Double Crit, who's over there, is playing in it as a great character. So you can hang out and see us on Fridays if you like. I think they're all going to go to a party on Friday. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. This was such an amazing session. There were so many good scenes. I was freaking out the entire game. Luckily, I was on mute, so no one could hear all of my freakouts. It was so great, and I felt so excited to be with such a great crew. So good. Thanks. And chat, Legion. Thank you so much for all the support. I was very concerned. Thank you for the support. That's me.
Thank you, my friend. As we jump up to Billy. Billy, Hell of a job, my friend. Hell of a job.
Thanks, man.
Where can we find you?
You can find me on the internets at Bill of the Forest on the Twitters. Instagram is a whole lot less exciting because it's, fuck that. Yeah, Legion, awesome job. Thank you so much. Those the +6 and the health, I feel like you like me a little bit, and I want to say thank you. And if I had any discernible skills, I would repay you in some fashion. But alas, here we are. Cass, this is great. I love these. I don't know. Every episode of this show is so beautifully artistic in its own way, whether we're together, whether we're apart, and there's so much, you could just tell the air is palpable with all of the love and care that people put into these characters and these stories, which we really need right now. If we're positively affecting you and you're watching us, tell your friends, because your friends need that love too. And times is dark, but got to be the light in the darkness. And I feel like we're at least trying to do a really damn good job of that. And I love everyone here. I love watching all the folks watching on VOD, and especially the Legion in chat who are actively contributing to helping us and hindering us and driving the course of the story. Combat wise, sorry, I'm going to continue going for a little bit, but there was a lot of stuff I wanted to do that I had planned that you got to just see the little tip of, and I can't wait for the opportunity to bust all that shit out, because I got a list of moves that oh boy, you'll get horny for justice real quick. Yeah, and on that note, I'm done.
Oh, I know, buddy. As soon as you get that pin or whatever, then your violence tree branches out in beautiful, beautiful directions. I love it. I love it. And finally, last but certainly not least, my friend Prax. Prax, how are you, and where can we find you?
I'm good. I got to do a couple things. Veron got to cut probably a couple names off of her list. She's pretty sure she can cross a couple names off the list. Maybe two.
Maybe.
And she got to impale at least one person with 2 meter long giant spikes of ice. Still pissed about the mage getting away, but she kind of figures she knows what's going on with that now. Also is not as traumatized by Wim dying in front of her. So yay. I
didn't die.
That's the point. You didn't.
Other
people did, and therefore she's super, super traumatized by it, as Greg said last week. So you didn't die. Positives.
I see where you're coming from. I smell what you're stepping in.
But Ron did say no one's allowed to die, so I appreciate her keeping her promise.
Veron is keeping a promise, she said. But yes, as for me, hi all, you know me. I'm at Durdredon on Twitter, or Prexigorthesmophoria as you see me around Twitch. Speaking of me, I have a new thing I'm doing on my channel, which you should, if you are enjoying stories and fun times, you should come hang out and watch. I'm doing what we call classics on Twitch. They are dramatic readings of classical plays, Shakespeare, or classical dramas or other things. Yesterday, we had the wonderful Trooper on to play Othello. Lindy in chat was Desdemona. # sorry, Lindy. Lindy didn't know the story of Othello before I asked her to play Desdemona. Lindy didn't know the story of Othello or Desdemona until she was reading it live. It was great. Things were happening. And today we did Twelfth Night. Tomorrow at 11 a.m., a certain other person around here might be hanging out with us as well. And yeah, right, Billy? You're still coming?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, good. We're going to do Sophocles' Antigone. And then Friday, we're going to do Richard III. We're posting these as they come up. Come hang out. We're enjoying classical literature, classical fun, telling good stories, and having lots of fun. As for the games I play, Well, there's nothing this Thursday. Oh, Friday there's no Cyberpunk because Wandering DM instead is going to be doing a charity for Trans Lifeline. They're going to be playing a Mall Goths versus Visigoths, and all the donations are going to support Trans Lifeline. But Saturday is the penultimate episode of Vampire Nightfall, and things are very interesting in New York at the moment as I run the show. But other than that, check my Twitter because I always post where I'm going to be, and I cannot wait for next week to see what happens. And I think I have a new name to add to my list. It's fine.
Fantastic. As for me, my name is Greg Grimjack21502 on the Twitter, Tales from the Grim here on the Twitch. I couldn't ask for a better cast. They hung out extra long tonight, which I appreciate so much. Jumping around from story to story, I know there's downtime in between, and I appreciate as a player for all of you to be able to do that and jump back into your characters is a true testament to both your passion and your talent as our peers. Legion, thank you. You helped me tell the story. You helped me do it in fantastic ways. Everybody that contributed or retweeted, all of those things came into play as we saw that Wim was saved from a potentially devastating wound that could have come in there at the end. Everybody, I just want to remind everyone, donations that come in for this game get split equally among the cast. And so everything that you do to add to the story helps to fuel the passions and the talent of everybody that you see here, because they are fantastic players, performers, and people. The 3 Ps that I love so very much. But anywho, what we have coming up, some fun things on the show. Follow all these people, especially the classic literature, which is going on right now. Super duper fun. It's just another avenue in this time where you're able to go to classic literature, or tune in and see somebody working out or fixing a car, and hey, we're all stuck at home anyway, most of us. Experience some of this wonderful stuff, like Billy said. Tell your friends if there's something that you like, or create yourself. If this is your excuse that you needed to jump in front of the camera and create some content, do so. We will be here to support you. Join us on the Discord. Let us know what's going on. Join a community. Promote what it is you would like to do or like to be a part of, and we can make it happen. Numerous channels around this wonderful internets do wonderful things. Thank you for all the raids that came in too, by the way. But I'm going to let everybody go. As the campfire goes down, there's only one thing left to say. You can't always roll nat 20s. Unless you're this group, Jesus with the crits. But you can always role play. We'll see you next time, friends. Stay healthy.